And Patrick Beverley making some interesting comments today and talking about Joel Embiid, who Joel Embiid is having a fantastic season. There is no doubt about that. But Patrick Beverley took it a tad bit far when he said this. Here he is.
Joel Embiid averaged 40 and 10 for an entire month.
If he finishes this season the way he's playing now, it would be the greatest season of a single player that's ever played basketball.
Damn.
That doesn't make you the best big man in the league. That makes you the best in the world. Joe, he is in a world of his own. And I don't even think it's close. I think it's a toggle between like him and the man.
What?
Straight up. Some 5-man, some centers that I played against last year that I'm playing against now that like no one says anything to Joe. Not one word. No one can stop him. He is the most dominant player in basketball right now. And it's not even close.
All right. Now it must be noted, of course, that Patrick Beverley is a teammate
what a
of Joel
shocker.
Embiid.
No, are you serious, Chris? Oh, what are you talking about?
On the Philadephia 76ers.
And
the
it was
76ers, Rob, are third in the Eastern Conference with a 23-10 record. And like I said, Joel Embiid is playing absolutely fantastic basketball. He's having a better year than he had last year when he won his first MVP award. Okay, he's leading the league in scoring at 30, basically 35 points a game, 34.8. He's averaging 11.8 rebounds a game, okay, which is fifth in the league. And he's also giving you 6.2 assists, and he's doing it all on 54% shooting and 35% from three, which isn't bad too either. He leads the league in free throw attempts, which is great. You get into the line and he shoots 89%. So Embiid is having a fantastic season. But Patrick Beverley, and I'm sure you would agree with me, Rob, is out of, well, first of all, is it just me or was he comparing him to Michael Jordan?
I'm guessing. I mean, obviously, sometimes when the players do podcasts, they don't realize that you need to communicate, and it would be nice if somebody would have said, "Who are you talking about?"
Thank you, Rob G. Where did he say? What was he on? Just let's find out who
he was on his own podcast on Barstool.
So it was one of his boys, I guess.
The co-host is his buddy. Yeah. Well, I don't know if
did
it's his buddy, but
anybody
it's a
push
co-host.
it like?
No, of course not. He was just like,
so they just
this
left that
this is what we talk about all the time. It's just, and it's fine, Chris, but it can't be like. The whole idea is to communicate and let people in on who you're talking about. You just can't assume that we know. Who are you talking about? LeBron? Or are you talking about MJ?
He said the man. Right. You're right.
I don't know. I don't know. Right. I'm assuming it's Michael Jordan. Right. I know he's not the biggest LeBron guy, so I'm assuming it's Jordan. Right.
Hey, I assume
in the social media post when they transcribed it, they had a picture of Jordan when they said the man.
Yeah, okay, then that would make sense, but they didn't make it clear. And I will say one thing. Pat Beverley did say something like he hedged it if he scores 40 points and 10 rebounds every month.
He just said if he keeps this up, right?
No, he
finishes this year.
Go back to that clip. It was like,
he implying that he's got to average 40 and 10? I think he was basically
month.
like if he keeps this up.
Nah, go listen to it. That's what I got from it. Rob G, Alex, can you just play that?
I almost want to hear it again because.
But he says if he does, he says
play it again. Play it.
Joel Embiid averaged 40 and 10 for an entire month.
If he finishes this season the way he's playing now, it would be the greatest season of a single player that's ever played basketball.
Okay.
No. But he said you got to. He said,
does that mean if he averages 40 and 10 for the rest of the whole season?
Play the whole clip. I heard something else.
Damn.
That doesn't make you the best big man in the league. That makes you the best in the world. Joe, he is in a world of his own, and I don't even think it's close. I think it's a toggle between like him and the man.
What?
Straight up. Some 5-man, some centers that I played against last year that I'm playing against now that like No one says anything to Joe. Not one word. No one can stop him. He is the most dominant player in basketball right now, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I heard a different clip. That's weird. It sounded different to me.
So I don't think. If he averaged 40 and 10, it'd be a great season, no doubt. But I'm not going to take him as saying that. I'm going to take him as saying if Joel Embiid continues to play the way he's playing, that it will be the best season ever.
Yeah, well, I don't. Go ahead. You could go first. I don't agree with that, but
you don't agree with what?
I don't. I'm trying to figure out. Is he talking about 40 and 10? Because that's what he said he had. This past
to me
month.
that makes no sense. Remember when Kobe Bryant had that stretch when he averaged 40? Rob G, you would know as a Laker, superhead. What was he saying? 40. Remember when Kobe had, what was it, like 8 straight 40-point games or something like that?
Yeah, when he averaged over 40 for a month or over 45 for a month, he had over 50 in 4
Was it over
games.
45 for a month?
Wow.
Yeah.
So if I said if Kobe does this the entire season, that would be the greatest season ever. Maybe then, that doesn't make sense to say. Players have had incredible streaks. That's why I'm saying, that doesn't make sense to say if he plays this way the whole month. Okay, but even then, all right. I mean, look, do we need to go back to the Wilt Chamberlain numbers? Wilt Chamberlain,
no, they act like that didn't happen, Chris.
And 26 rebounds in a season.
Right. That didn't happen. I guess they didn't see it on videotape, so it never happened. I don't
that
even.
Year, remember, he averaged
26 rebounds is
Game,
ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
And I get people will say, well, back then they didn't have all the best players in the world. And it was just true because they kind of had the unwritten rule about how many blacks could be on the team and all that. But still, today, Rob, here's the main contention. And today's numbers are skewed. All right? They are skewed today. Guys, Rob G, tell me are we talking about that later? We talked about
yeah, that's the third hour, but we'll get into that.
I'll leave it now. Yeah, we'll get into that
I
later.
get it, Chris, and we both know that, how much easier it is to score and all that other stuff. It just is. Those are facts, not feelings. Nobody's trying to belittle what he's doing, but it's just like we talk about, Chris, with the NFL and all the quarterbacks who are shattering all the passing records from all the great quarterbacks who play in the NFL. When Terry Bradshaw would throw, Chris, 13 times a game, 45 times in 3 games, and these guys are throwing 51 pass attempts in one game.
Compare.
You cannot compare it.
I hear guys talk about Michael Irvin. Oh, his numbers aren't all that. Well, they didn't throw that as much.
Then they had a running back who they used, Chris.
Right.
They had a running back.
Exactly. So you can't just compare the numbers across different eras. Because if we did it that way, Rob, then we would just say, you know what, Wilt Chamberlain was the best.
Right, and we would have ended the conversation a long time ago.
Yep. And here's the thing about Joel Embiid. And look, he did compare him. We assume he was comparing him to Michael Jordan. Let me tell you one thing about Michael Jordan. Let me tell you one thing Michael Jordan didn't do. Melt in the playoffs. And I don't mean melt like emotionally melt, because I don't think that happens to Embiid. But maybe it does. I haven't seen that in his body language or anything. I feel like I've seen that here and there from James Harden. It seems like the big game 6s, game 7s, or even big game 5 sometimes, or when Harden only takes 11 shots or has 12 turnovers or shoots 23% or something like that. So I feel like that's melting down. Embiid, I don't know if he melts down, but Rob, he averages, his numbers drop wildly in the playoffs. Last year, 33 points a game in the regular season on 55% shooting. In the playoffs, 24 points a game on 43% shooting. So
that's a huge.
That's humongous.
That sounds like somebody turned into goo. That used to be my favorite word as a columnist. He just turns to goo, Chris, when it matters most. and I would say that's what you would say about Embiid, because you shouldn't drop off that
No,
much.
10 points?
Especially, there's nobody your size for the most
That's
part that
another
you usually
thing,
go
Rob.
up. Who are
You
you going
should
up
be
against?
beasting.
This ain't the Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo,
David
era.
Robinson.
Right, where there was a ton of big
Hakeem
guys.
Olajuwon.
Where you had
Shaq.
Shaq, all those guys played against each other, and you had to come with it every night. It wasn't like this. There's
Right.
nobody in his way. Who's in your way?
Because and again, we'll get into this later, but hey, it's a 3-hour show. We can repeat ourselves. Nowadays.
Some shows do it very much so. I'm sorry.
Right. And I'm not, look, the game is different. In some ways, it's better. In some ways, the players are better. In some ways, it's worse. In some ways, the players are worse. But one thing that's happening is the point totals individually and as teams are going way higher. And it's all due to analytics, even as it is in football, Rob, as well. But Rob G, let's reveal that number. What was it? 2012? How many players? Give me the year. Let me know if the year's right.
Sure. So
In 2012, yeah. Go ahead.
2012, 2013. There were 9 players in the NBA who averaged at least 20 points per game. This season are 47.
Think about that, Rob.
Say it again.
In 2012, 2013, there were 9 players averaging 20 or more points per game. This season, there are 47.
Wow. That's all you need to know, because we've heard the European players all say how easy it is to score in the NBA, right?
Yep.
All the best players, and they're winning the MVPs every year, and those guys are like, oh, it's cake to score here. Are you kidding?
Rob, I mean, we're just, dropping all sorts of, we're all over the place now as far as basketball, but right now, first team All NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
You don't even
from
tell
Canada.
me. Is there American on there?
No.
Chris, seriously?
Luka Doncic.
Wow.
Joe, and in the front, those are the guards. All right, we know he's from Slovenia. Joel Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic. That's the first team All NBA.
That's unbelievable.
Am I missing anybody? Rob G, do you disagree with that?
I wanted to, but I can't.
That's
What,
first
you
team All
can't?
NBA.
Hey, get the Harlem Globetrotters on the phone. I mean, we're the brothers.
Well, they got some brothers. They just not from America.
But my God,
Shai
you know what I mean. I know.
Embiid and
But that was like when Steve Nash won the MVP from Canada, Chris. He's not even American.
Yeah,
Steve Nash.
Canada. So let's throw it out to you guys. 877-9905. Simple question. Is Joel Embiid having the best season ever by an NBA player? Your thoughts next.
All right, let's kick it off with Mark in Sacramento, our buddy Mark. What's up? What's happening?
What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys today?
Doing great.
We're
Welcome
great,
to
man.
the
How are
Odd
you?
Couple.
I think he's pumping up his teammate, number one. He's nowhere near the greatest. I've been watching basketball a long time. I don't see the whole lot of seasons better than this. I can name them. But he's closer to Shaq than he is Jordan. That's why I said last year he was Shaq-like. Because he's getting in the lane and he's not shooting as many jump shots. That's why his scoring is up.
He still shoots a ton of J's. I mean, he's been in the lane more.
Yeah, he's in more. He's getting in there more. He's got more of a balance. That's what I mean. He's got more of a balance.
And he's a great jump shooter. I'm not even going to disparage him anymore for his mid-range jumper is
shoot him.
And
awesome.
Mark,
he's
you
the best
also
shooting big man as far as mid-range for sure.
And you also know, Mark, it's easier to score in this man's league.
Oh, without a doubt. There's more room. There's
yes.
You can't touch him. There's more room.
More. That's the main thing. I heard J.J. Redick, who would be, I guess he'd be this generation type player, even though he's retired. And he said, he was talking about guys scoring more. He said, when you hear old heads say that so-and-so from back in the day could score, have his way today, he said he's probably right. Because he made
Did
it.
he really?
I think he said,
Did he really? Wow.
I think it was He said, because he talked about the spacing, as Mark is saying.
Yeah, the spacing. Yeah.
He said Michael Jordan never got to operate in space.
There was no space.
Which is true.
Jordan rules. Jordan
Right.
rules.
And the game was just built around the paint.
Yeah.
So when Jordan went into the paint and there were 6 guys in there, 3 of his own teammates, 3 defenders, you had to finish. You had to know how to score in traffic. Can you imagine? I really think Jalen Rose said it a few years ago, maybe a little tongue-in-cheek, maybe not. Jordan would average 40 today. I really believe that. Today.
I think so, Chris.
I don't know about 2018,
no, but I think
2023, yes.
But I think so, along with the 3-point shot.
He'd shoot
you know
more
what I mean?
threes,
He would
right?
shoot more threes, right.
Yep. So many more of your shots are worth 3 points.
That's what I'm
than
saying.
2.
So all you got to do is add 6 or 8 points off of that, and there you go. You got your 40.
Not
all
to
right,
mention
Mark.
again the space. Yep.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Drew in New Jersey. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing good
man.
today.
How are you?
Good. So I'm going to get right into it. So when I look at Joel Embiid, I kind of see some semblance, some parallels to Lamar Jackson, where it's great regular season, still hasn't done it in the playoffs, doesn't win games in the playoffs. Same thing with Joel Embiid, where we anoint them, but they still haven't done it. I don't think.
No,
you can't do
I'm
it,
gonna
just like I
say
don't
I'm gonna
think
push
Lamar
back
can.
on this, Drew. I'm gonna push it back. This is easy to say. They did the same thing to the Joker this past year. Nobody. Oh, don't
But
give
it
me
was
that.
valid.
No, but I'm just saying.
At
But
that
that's
point.
what. But that was what was used against him, and then the guy went out and performed. And the only thing I'm going to say about Lamar, nobody's trying to crown him, but if he does win the MVP, which it looks like, nobody's won 2 before age 27. That's all you're saying, Chris. You're not saying he's the greatest quarterback who ever played, but you
Not
got to
even the
give
best
him
in the league.
right. But you got to give him credit for doing something no one's ever done in the history of the National Football League. I think that's
Right.
pretty amazing.
My pushback would be
That's all.
that Lamar's still very early in his career. To your point, Rob, about his age. Embiid, Embiid's not old, but Embiid's had more time in the playoffs than Lamar. Lamar's only been to the playoffs 3 times. First year, we understand. I mean, he was a runner, and he is a much better passer now than he was even during his MVP year. Even though his numbers as far as touchdowns aren't as high, just watch him throw the football. He's much better. He's much more accurate. And Peyton Manning didn't win a playoff game till his 6th year in the league. So I just think it's a little early to label Lamar.
That's
and
what I'm
people
saying.
are doing it.
I know
people
they
are
are.
doing it. They're going to do it when he wins MVP.
Yeah.
Until he, whatever, we'll see what he does in the playoffs.
Hey,
but
let's
I think it's
squeeze
just a
in.
little early.
Okay, I'm with you. I think it's too early to try to paint him into
Like
that
to say
box.
he can't win in the
win
playoffs.
the playoffs, right? Greg in Long Beach, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Greg?
How y'all doing?
Doing
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. When they said, I guess you want to compare Joel to Jordan or whatever as far as the season goes, I'm gonna just say that the NBA really is a soft league right now, and it has been for a couple of years. So, of course, he's gonna put up those numbers. So Jordan was putting up numbers when it was like you getting hacked and clotheslined and everything. He's still averaging 30.
Yep.
But I say in this day and age, Jordan will average. I'll say 45 to 50.
It'd be 40.
I'm not going to go to 50.
But 40,
I'll
Chris,
go
I
to
think 40. I think he could average 40.
Yeah, I do think he could average 40. We talked about it, Rob, in the 98 finals when Jordan and the Bulls beat the Jazz 87-86 and Jordan had 45 points.
Think about that.
That's half your point, more than half your point. Like that. I mean, my goodness, what would he do today? All right.